Yo, this is DJ Rockfella. Welcome to the Re-Roc Club. I'm sitting here right now with the co-owner of the name brand QuinDecim.
Welcome to the Re-Roc Club.
How you doing, man?
Doing good, man. Doing
How
good.
2020 treating you so
It's
far?
good. It's a good start, man. We're gonna do something big this year.
Okay.
Sure.
All right, so just tell everybody, like, what's the meaning behind the brand QuinDecim?
So QuinDecim Red is basically about motivating people to break their everyday cycle, and the concept that we push behind it is you have to tap into your childlike imagination or fearless imagination and apply it to your ideas or your passions, and that's how you break the everyday cycle.
Okay, so like when you breaking down like the brand name Quinn, where did you get that from?
So QuinDecim is a name that I nicknamed my neighborhood. I grew up like 15 in Gratiot area, in Clinton Township, Michigan. For anybody outside of Michigan, it's in Clinton Township. Two streets that make up my neighborhood is 15 Mile and Quinn Road. So I kind of found a word that kind of fused both of those together. So QuinDecim means 15 in Latin, and it also had the name Quinn in it, so that's why I chose it.
Oh, that's interesting. So, like, when you came up with the name brand, and like, so you just like thought about like throwing it on the clothes, you know what I'm saying, or it was already an idea that you had in mind?
Yeah, so when I talk about breaking the cycle, it's basically like the cycle is just things that hold you back from your full potential. So when I talk about the cycle, is something that I've seen in my neighborhood. So that's why I chose to kind of incorporate the neighborhood in it, and that was from the jump was going to be the name.
So how long you been in business so far?
So I launched the brand in 2016,
Okay.
and I got this store in 2018, August of 2018.
Oh, okay. So like being an entrepreneur, like what's like the pros and cons of being a retail business?
To be honest, it's still kind of new. Like I never worked in retail before this. I would say for some pros is you get to meet like a lot of people. Like since I've been in the store, like I'm in the store heavily a lot. Like I'm in here like 50 hours a week. I meet a lot of people, like a lot of creative people that want to do photography, music, want to start their own clothing brand. So like that whole networking aspect of it, I don't think like normal like big brands will get that experience in retail. But for me, like a pro of being in retail and being an owner actually in a store, is I get to meet a lot of people, a lot of networking.
And what's the cons?
Where was I now? Cons, I feel like just the time being in the store, like retail hours is tough. So I'm heavily involved in it. So it's really, and it's a new brand. So it's, it take a while for things to start going. But I think being here so much, it kind of like hold me back in a way from like getting out and going to like events and stuff like that.
Right.
And
had to cut back on the parties. And
I ain't a big partier anyway. It's just like certain events that I feel like would be beneficial to the brand, I really can't engage in. Like people always invite me to stuff, but I can't really get into it because I'm here so much. So I think that like the retail hours is a big con in it. You see a lot of people nowadays do like online only, but the retail is still good.
All right, so like so far, like what's been your biggest challenge that you had a big hurdle to get over, starting your brand?
Finding out what people like. Like I drop certain stuff here and there. I don't do like seasonal stuff. Like I just drop kind of whatever ideas that I have. I kind of drop it when I can. And it's been like a huge obstacle to pinpoint what people like. Like I noticed like certain stuff sell a different way, like certain colors, certain sizes. I don't have any experience in retail or like clothing, so I've been, since the beginning, I opened the store, like I've been learning what people like, what people, what colors, what size is popular, but it's coming along.
Okay. So as far as the logo go with the panda, like what made you choose the panda out of everything?
So like the logo is the panda, and the name up under it, and then red. So the panda, that represents the childlike imagination or fearless imagination. I chose the panda. Like the logo explains how to break the everyday cycle, and that's you tap into your childlike imagination, you apply it to something that you're passionate about. So the panda, I use that because in my neighborhood it's an elementary school, and the mascot at the elementary school is a panda. So that's where I got like the childlike imagination correlation with that. And then QuinDecim, again, I said that's a nickname I gave the neighborhood. So you take your childlike imagination, you apply it to something. So my something is breaking a cycle in my neighborhood. So if you look at the name QuinDecim, like in my logo, the Q is like a broken cycle. And then QuinDecim is the name that I gave my neighborhood. So it's me breaking a cycle in my neighborhood.
Okay.
And then red signifies, the color red signifies passion.
Okay. So when you were first starting out, like how many, like what was your inventory starting out with? Like how many shirts or hoodies you started out with to see how far it was gonna take you?
When I started, I overcommitted. So if you start a new clothing brand, don't overcommit. I did like probably like just printed up my logo on like 300 shirts, and it was
like 300.
Yeah, it took me about 2 years to sell out.
Oh, okay. So
like I would say a year and a half to really sell out all those.
As a new entrepreneur, you know what I'm saying, starting off a new clothing line in a business, what's like the estimate funds you might suggest a person to start off with before they just hop right in?
For clothing? Or
just clothing, yeah.
I would say 5 bands. Like that's a magic number. I feel like because you can get your website going, you can get a little bit of inventory going. Don't overcommit like I did, but it's a lot of stuff that you don't realize. Like if you're gonna do online, like when I started, I only did online. I had to get like a label printer. I had to get something to ship my clothes in, which I did like custom poly mailers, stuff like that. You got to get. I had bought a scale. I really didn't need the scale, but it's just you gotta. If you don't have a computer or a laptop, you got to get a laptop, a camera, because you really got to get your content up with social media, whether it's Instagram or Facebook, Snapchat. We already at 3,000 right there. If you get some decent stuff, so and then you got to put a little bit up for your inventory. But I would say 5,000 for sure.
Okay. So my next question.
Credit card, you can.
So my next question, like, was it somebody particularly local that kind of like broke the brand out a little bit more? Because I see like the brand is very versatile, and I see like rappers wearing it, you know, artists, got strippers wearing it, you know what I'm saying? It's very versatile.
Really my neighborhood, like
Just
people from my neighborhood, like they supported me from the jump, from the day that I dropped it. Like they supported me. Like I'm not like with all the flashy stuff, like as far as marketing. So I kind of like, who was it? Beyonce that dropped Lemonade, like surprisingly.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I do it. Like I came up with the brand, and then I dropped it. It was like this coming in a week, and from the jump, people just start supporting me. People that I knew, people I didn't know, but the neighborhood for sure was the one that really started.
All right.
But local, it's a few local celebrities that helped me out.
Okay. So, like starting off the year 2020, like what's your vision? What you see, you know what I'm saying? What you got new in stock for yourself and the brand?
Really, I feel like I was saying, like figuring out what people like. I feel like I kind of got a little grasp on that now. So I kind of want to tap into what people been buying, like what's been constant and what's like full designs that I've been turning over. Because like to start out, I really just been pushing like the logo, the panda. I kind of switched it up a little bit. Like on this hoodie, I got the panda on the back. But I feel like now that I got that under grasp, like I can really tap into that and push it. I know what sizes to get and all that. So it's nothing too exciting, but it's most definitely gonna be a good move.
Okay. When you first started like creating the brand QuinDecim, like was it like any point in time that you kind of had like kind of self-doubt in yourself that it wasn't gonna pick up like the way you wanted to?
Oh yeah, for sure. When I started it, like I started it in a notebook. I was jotting down ideas, whatever. You can like look at public records and see when people started a business. Like I filed my articles of organization. That's what you're doing, you get an LLC. I did that in 2012. I didn't launch the brand until 2016. So it was like a lot of putting a little bit in, putting it down. I was also in college at the time, going to school, so I was like trying to figure out like job-wise where I was going to work at and applying for jobs and stuff, and I kind of put it on the back burner a whole bunch. And then like around 2015, that's when I really started taking it serious. That's when I actually got the logo made. I've been had the name LLC, but yeah, it's self-doubt most definitely in the beginning for sure.
Yeah, because you can like, you know what I'm saying, because if it's not picking up the way you want it, you know, you're spending all your time and energy on one thing, you can like, you know, create self-doubt.
Yeah.
So like, what do you prefer more as far as like, you know, dealing with the printing service, like DTG, you know, direct to garment or embroidery or vinyl?
All my printing is screen print. I'm actually on my third screen printer. So I launched the brand in 2016. So about three and a half years. This is my third screen printer. The one I'm working with now, they're pretty good. They've been good with turnarounds. They've been good with quality. Edgeman Printing in Clinton Township on 15 and Grove Bay. But like when you starting out, like some people they might do the screen print themselves, or they might have like a vinyl heat press or whatever like that. But screen printing is gonna be like your best. Even DTG is like you're not gonna get the quality that you're gonna get with screen print. But screen print is like a skill. It's a huge skill that you gotta really put some time into, some money into. So I just decided not to do it and use other people. But that's been a challenge too, because like using another company to do your work for you, it was like a huge obstacle. Like when I first started the store, I had some orders that was taking like 3 months, 4 months, and being small and just starting out, like you don't have enough money capital to invest $3,000 into some clothes and then wait 3 months.
Would you rather do it yourself if you have the equipment, or you rather like have another service do it?
That's what I ended up doing. So after the one that was kind of taking too long, I went to another one. They did all right, but they still took too long. But this one I'm using now, like they got good turnaround times and stuff like that. But you just gotta, it's kind of like, it's trial and error. You gotta find somebody that's gonna do right by you, because it's just like an auto body shop. Like some do good work, some don't, but really the turnaround time is a big thing in the beginning that it's tough for a smaller brand, because you don't have that money to sit. You gotta, once you invest that money, you gotta turn it over as quick as possible so you can get some more stuff. So
did it take like couple of months or even a year to like see some real money coming through, you know, into the business, or is it something that you had to keep reinvesting?
Yeah, it's still like reinvesting. Like it ain't there yet. It's only been like a year and a half, so it's still. It seemed like forever, but it's only been a year and a half.
That's crazy, because it seemed like I've been coming in this store for about 2 years.
Yeah, you just gotta keep at it. That's like one of the biggest things.
So like, what's like your top? What's like your top 3 clothing brands that you like get inspired by? It could be locally, or it could be, you know.
I pay attention to so many, because I think that's what I don't really know anything about fashion like that, to be honest. Like
Or just urban wear, like how you know.
I'll look at like, I know when I started out, like I studied like the hundreds.
The hundreds.
Bobby Hundred. I studied like Diamond, Supreme, of course. Then you got like Virgil with Off-White, looking at like the stuff, like they on a whole nother level, but it's still, you know, you want to look at the best of the best. So I look at the best brands.
Right.
And kind of see, you don't copy them, but you kind of see what they doing and how they doing it. That's pretty much
the pattern style, and just seeing like the wave that everybody like right now. You know what I'm saying?
Because you can catch what fit is hot, because they kind of like determine what's hot or not. So you know, I look at, you know, a lot of people like oversized stuff, some people like fitted, but you can kind of catch the trends by watching other brands.
Locally, the fashion brands I like here is like Dirt Label.
I look at Dirt
Billionaire Boy Club. You know what I'm saying? It's like so much simple stuff out, but it's hot though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's catching the wave with everybody. So I think like the more simple you go, the more attention you can get.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Minimal.
So, you know. When you paying attention to your inventory, like what's the hottest piece out right now?
It's really, and it worked good because the colors of the panda, but anything black, like black hoodies, black joggers, black t-shirts, long sleeve, like those turn over.
Okay.
I can do an order of those, they're gonna turn over like within a couple of months, and it's something that I keep seeing that turn over. So like that's kind of like the color. When I do like different color stuff, like I got like a vintage pink, or if I do pink or like a light blue or something like that, it turn over a little bit slower. But I know for sure like anything black really has been turning over. So. Yeah. And that's what my favorite color to wear.
Favorite, so, my favorite. You can't never go wrong with black.
Right.
You feel me?
So anything black, really.
Yeah. Okay. So like, what gender support you the most? Like the males or the girls?
It's kind of like 50-50. I know my men's t-shirts and stuff like that, and hoodies, they sell better, but that's because men and women come in and grab it. It ain't like just men coming in and grabbing it. Women's t-shirts really don't sell as well as men's t-shirts, but I notice over time that it's the men's stuff that really turn over the most.
Have you been paying attention to the seasonal? Like, you get more sales in the summer than the winter, or the winter over the summer?
Since I've been going, like the hottest times is like the beginning of the year. Like March is when it start. Like first quarter, like the end of first quarter is like when it start popping. Then it kind of slow down. Then back to school in August, it pop. Summer's okay, but back to school pop, and then it die down a little bit. And then of course holiday season, November and stuff like that. That's when it start picking up for real. That's usually like the best quarter of the year.
Okay.
Hey man, it's Chris from QuinDecim Red, man. Thanks to the Re-Roc Club for coming through. Check us out, Lakeside Mall in Sterling Heights, and online at www.quindecimred.com. Break the cycle, spark greatness.